is called Kartik month. And because Radharani is very dear to Lord Krishna, this month is also very, very dear to him. Yes. And that's why any activity done in this month, Krishna and Radharani are very, very merciful and they give us a lot of spiritual benefits. Okay, so His Grace IKSVAKU Prabhu, most of us already know him, but still I'll introduce him. IKSVAKU Prabhu is from South America, and at a very young age, when he was a teenage, he actually joined Krishna consciousness. Is that right? Something like that. Okay. When he was 18 years of old, yeah. So when at a very young age, he joined Krishna consciousness, and he had the fortune of very intimately, serving his spiritual master by becoming his personal servant. He also came, like he had a family, and they came to Perth, and Prabhu lived in Perth for about 14 years, 20 years. So he was in Perth for 20 years. He was the pioneer of developing the Bhakti Riksha programs in Perth. And he has also been part of Congregational Development Ministry. And he's been, so he moved to Mayapur. I don't know how many years ago, bro, you moved to Mayapur? 7 years. So since then, he has been living in Mayapur. And then he is now here. So a lot of bad things happened in COVID. A lot of people lost their lives, but also many good things happened. And one of the good things that happened is Prabhu got stuck here. Prabhu got stuck here. Mataji, Hari Bol. So that's our fortune, and he's here. And today we are going to be hearing about Lord Damodar. So please give him a big round of applause. I'll fix it. You play. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Suranandana Bhajanjana Ranjana Yasoranandana Bhajanjana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vana Chariya Jamuna Tira Vana Chariya Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava
Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yasodanandana Vajanjana Ranjana Yasodanandana Vajanjana Ranjana Jamana Thiravana Chadu Jamana Thiravana Chadu Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, oh Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Jaya Radha, Damodar Radha, Damodar Radha. Jaya Radha, Damodar Radha, Damodar Radha. Jaya Gauranithai, 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 Jaya Gauranithai, Gauranithai. Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nanda Guru Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Sri Prabhupada ki jai, Sri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for being here. So today we have the auspicious Kartik month and the celebration of particularly the Damodar Lila, which is unique for many reasons, unlimitedly, but we are limited in many ways. So we have limited time. In my case, limited capacity or devotion at all. Srila Prabhupada signs when he arrived in America, Bhakti Noi, Veda Noi. I have no knowledge, no devotion. So he says, the most insignificant beggar. Beggar of what? Beggar of money? Can you lend me some money? Can you give me something? No. His begging is for love for Krishna. That's his begging. That's the Acharya's example. So in the same way, whenever we perform some service or attempt to, our mood should be that of Srila Prabhupada, that no bhakti, no knowledge, bhakti noi, Veda noi. But as Prabhu mentioned, in this month of Kartik, particularly, whatever service we do, it's multiplied 1,000 times. So, and particularly the chanting, Srila Prabhupada says, Namek Kup Dharo. No? Bengali, right? Namek Kup Dharo means a strong faith, right? Strong faith in the chanting. So even if some of us don't have strong faith, still we chant. Just do it, right? That's the line. So we attempt to do this glorification. Prabhu started off with asking, why is the name of Kartik called Kartik? A few explanations about and why. What's the mother's, Radharani's mother's name? Kirtida. Why is she called Kirtida? Can go on and on, right? Kirtida means the one who gives glorification. So today we're going to do something different. Those who are experts, and we have to learn from those who are experts, said if you want people to remember, do something different. But Prabhupada didn't like things to change. We're going to do slightly something different that we learned from our seniors. Today we're going to talk about Lord Krishna being bound by Mother Yasoda, but differently by the mercy of the great Acharyas, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and others, and our contemporary devotees, so is Bhakti Purushottam Swami Maharaj, who wrote this book, Damodar. Wonderful book. I think we have it. I think we should sell it today. It's an amazing book. Amazing. Shivaran Maharaj, Damodar Janani. Oh, amazing books. Incredible things. Never in my lifetime I dreamt of hearing these things, you know. Sanatana Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami in the Hari Bhakti Vilas also, they comment on the glories of Kartik and the songs and so much. There's so much, actually. Damodar Janani, Shivaran Maharaj, amazing book. I think, and he put, I think it's two, 1 and 2, amazing book. Anyway, that's all available for us. And even if we read one page, we are benefited. So let's take advantage. We have the Damodar book here. I know that. Sitaram Prabhu can bring it up. So in this narration, the way that we can understand Krishna is through the agency of Mother Yasoda. Right? So today we're going to try to focus as a matter of making a little difference so you will remember, oh, I remember that Prabhu gave class a few years ago, he spoke about Mother Yasoda. All glories to the devotees who teach us this. Yashoda means the one who gives fame, right? Who knows that verse that explains the 6 qualities of Krishna, the opulence? Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya, Jasyasya. Jasya is one of the qualities, 6 qualities. Jasya is famous. It's famous. So Mother Yashoda is the one who gives fame to Krishna. Now, we're going to play a little bit with words because that's what the acharyas do. So in presenting this, you may start thinking, some of you at least, how is it that Mother Yasoda gives Krishna fame? He's already famous. Ishvara, Parama, Krishna, etc., etc. Right? Bhagavad Gita, those of you who study Bhagavad Gita, the whole purpose of the Bhagavad Gita is to establish Krishna's supremacy. That's all. Krishna is top one. And as I don't know where we were, I forgot now, I think Friday program. Friday, yeah? We were explaining how the Bhagavatam, the main line of the Srimad Bhagavatam, you were not there on Friday, right? Friday? No. I was confused. But what's the main line of the Bhagavatam? What's the main verse of the Bhagavatam? You should know. You know this thing. Krishna Stu Bhagavan Swayam. That's that line. Out of the 18,000 verses, that line is topmost. Krishna Stu Bhagavan Swayam. And Bhagavan means the one who has in full 6 opulences. Right? Saidvaishwarya, etc. So all this is to present Krishna as the Supreme. He's meant to be top. Param Brahma. Everything top. Who knows Arjuna's prayers in the Bhagavatam? Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram, Paramam Bhava. Everything's Param, Param, the Supreme. No one higher than him. We begin Bhagavatam, reading Bhagavatam with the first line, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Right? So he's tops. But also, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Bhaktyamam Abhigyanati. That only one who has bhakti knows me. Tattvataha, in truth. Prabhupada often say these things. I heard many classes where he says, Tattvataha means as it is. How do you say as it is in Bengali? Yato, yato, yatoru. Huh? No? Yato, yato. Yeah? That's what he's saying. Mayapur is yato, yato, Bhagavad Gita, yato, yato. As it is. I know these things. I don't even understand, but I know that it's somewhere there. Like this, right? As it is. Tattvataha. In the Bhagavatam it says. So, who is this Krishna? I remember many, many years back. I forgot now how many years back. There was a drama here. And the drama's title, if I'm not mistaken, was Who is Krishna? And I remember Nikunj was there and a few others were there. Amazing drama. Who is Krishna? And there was some preaching happening. Maybe some of you remember. Who is Krishna? And then we say, okay, Krishna is God, and etc., etc. But who really is Krishna? Right? Who is the Prime Minister here? I don't even know the name. Sorry. I lost track. But you may say, okay, this person is. And we may know the address, the name, and where his office is, or her, I don't know. But do you really know the person? You know the post. But do you really know the person? What does it take to know the person? Whether you have direct contact with the person and get to know him or her, or you find out from someone who knows him or her. Correct? That's the system. So we're not presenting anything outrageous. Oh, these Hare Krishna people, crazy, present crazy arguments. No, this is how it works. So the way to understand Krishna as it is through his devotees. So this pastime of Damodar, it is understood by the agency of Mother Yasoda. So the question is why? Why Mother Yasoda? There's some amazing revelations. I strongly recommend you to buy this book. It's a small book, the Damodar one. And Maharaj has put the essence of these commentaries from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, mainly one of the previous acharyas. But there it is explained, in essence, the nectar of the love that Mother Yasoda has for Krishna. And he uses a lot of Sanskrit terms and levels and, that sometimes we used to impress the audience and say, oh, Prabhu really knows, oh, he's Pandit. I don't want to fake it. I have been reading for a few days and hearing. So Maharaj knows, I don't know. So there it is explained by the Shastras, by the Acharyas and the commentaries of the Shastras, that Mother Yasoda has a certain mentality. And this mentality defies everything that the Vedas say. This is extraordinary. This is something inconceivable, unique. And what is that the Vedas says? Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad Gita. Vedas cha sarvara am eva vidyu. Right? Where? Where? 15:15. You're not playing. Let the students know. 15:15. The main verse of chapter 15. Yoga of the Supreme. Purushottam Yoga. And they know me as the Supreme. Right? So many verses. Krishna is Parameshwara. Bhoktaram Jagatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Right? So many verses. You know better than me. But in this Lila, Krishna is not Ishvara. Right? He's not the controller. He's controlled. This is the specialty of this Lila. And it is explained that Mother Yasoda thinks this boy is mine. I don't care about anything else. He's mine. And you're going to do what I say. Okay? Mothers have that mentality. Parents also, but parents are a little, hands off sometimes. Because that's mother's territory. Yeah? Especially when they're little, right? You know the age when Krishna played his Damodar Lila, his pastime? Around 3 plus, they say. So he was a baby, right? So he was able to walk and certain things, but he was baby, right? Still, right? Cute and all that. So at that age, also children become very demanding sometimes. Yes, Matheus? Is that correct? When they want to eat now. Right? It's not that, you have to give them a lecture or a seminar about, this importance of rain. No, they want it and they want it now. So Krishna takes that full mentality of I am yours. That's the mentality. Chaitanya Bhagavat recommends, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends, that if you really want to surrender, to make it simple, Krishna says, Sarvadharmam paritayam mamekam sharanam braham. You want to surrender? You simply, Lord Chaitanya made everything simple, right? You say 3 times, I am yours, I am yours, I am yours. That's Chaitanya Bhagavat. But in this case, Krishna says, I am yours, I am yours, I am yours. Krishna surrenders, right? The peak of the Vedic literature is to understand that we need to surrender. Bahunam janmanamante, janavam mam paparyante. After many, many births, you finally surrender and accept me as the Supreme. Right? Bahunam janmanam. Bhagavad Gita 7:19. But in this case, Mother Yasoda controls Krishna and Krishna surrenders. Did he surrender or not? I mean, he made it a little long, the pastime, right? With the ropes and all that. But finally he surrendered. Didn't he? He surrendered. So what was Mother Yasoda thinking? Right? The importance of this Lila is that we understand Yata Yata. Krishna as he is, Tat Tataha. And he is so in love with his devotees, particularly with the gopis. And Mother Yasoda is described as a senior gopi, older gopi. Gopi nevertheless, but elderly gopi, right? And Sukadev Goswami very beautifully describes, and thus the older gopi, Yashoda, did this, did that. So the exchange of rasas between Krishna and Mother Yasoda is unique. It's unique. And just to give you a preview of the movie, and maybe I haven't heard much, but maybe some of you have. You know what happens at the end of the pastime? Because generally, there's descriptions, right? That day, Ekkada, once upon a time, you know how the stories start? Once upon a time. One day, Mother Yasoda had to do different things for the household. And then what did she do? She put baby Krishna carefully on the bed, right? And that's when the problem started. Very carefully. And the acharyas explain that she didn't just leave him there because, okay, I have to do something, and I have my life. Come on, Krishna. Sometimes mothers, I know, they're overwhelmed by the requirement, the demands of the children household. They have to cook, they have to go to work sometimes, so many things. But Mother Yasoda was thinking, you see, another name of Krishna, when he plays tricks with the gopis, he goes and what he is famous for stealing? Makanchor, the butter thief. So he always goes there and, wherever he can go, and he steals some butter from the gopis. That was his Lila. He likes that. He just gets in trouble like that, and he gets the monkeys and friends and like that. That's him. So one time, Mother Yasoda was thinking, my little darling is always doing this thing. He's not a thief, actually. Mothers, how is it like that? When your kids get in trouble in school, it's my baby. You know how it is. So these people are talking things, So then she thought, maybe the reason why he's always going around and stealing butter is because the butter that he gets here is not good enough. Now, that's the mentality of a loving person. It's not good enough. So today, I will do butter for him, myself. That's what she thought. And that's the prelude behind the scenes of the whole pastime. So she's thinking, she's meditating. I'm going to improve my service for Krishna. No? Now, okay, here. They put the bottle. That's it. Or the pacifier. No. Nowadays, I see they give them the screen. Have you seen? Little babies now with the screens in the cars and everywhere. So, Mother Yasoda is meditating, How can I improve my service? How can I make it better? So, she wakes up. She's thinking already, how I'm going to do all this. Put Krishna there. And then she goes, and then the whole thing started. The milk and all that. So her mentality from the start was right. Sometimes we may think, oh, Krishna, I wanted to give her a lesson because she put me down. So I'm going to show. That's sometimes you can see children do that, right? They're like, oh, really? You want to put me down? Now I'm going to show you in the middle of the shopping center. Or in the airplane. In the airplane when you have the kids cry? Gee. No, he knew that Mother Yashoda was feeling so much love for Krishna that he just wanted to make it even sweeter. That was his mentality. And there are so many details. For example, you know what happened, right? She went to boil the milk and all that, and the milk was spilling out and it was falling into the fire and all that. Anyway, this may not be apt for those who don't have much faith in Krishna, but I'm going to say it anyway. Today is special. So Prabhu gave me green light. But it is explained by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur that the milk, you see, everything in the spiritual world is chit, which means conscious. The bamboo is conscious. The flute is conscious. The stone are conscious. Everything is conscious. Everything. The paraphernalia, everything is conscious. So the milk is also conscious. So Chakravartipad, he says that the milk is thinking. You know? This Krishna, see, there was an important thing about Maya Yasoda. And ladies would know this. When the mother has her affection for the baby, has these feelings, if she's in a right state of mind, then what happens is that breasts produce milk. Right? It happens also with cows and other animals. So she's feeling all these emotions for Krishna. So her breasts start producing milk. Actually start dripping milk. So the milk that it's in the pot is thinking, I have no chance. Which milk Krishna is gonna prefer? Right? Like now, you know, with the vegan movement. We're meant to be ahimsa now, huh? By next year, I think that every installed deity, something like that. So we have to choose which milk quality, right? The one that doesn't involve cruelty for cows and all that. Quality. So Lord Krishna is obviously wanting to get the milk. In fact, he started throwing a tantrum kind of thing because he wanted milk from Mother Yasoda. So the milk from the pot is thinking, oh, my life is pointless, worthless. I'd rather jump in the fire. Vishwanath Chakravarti Tagore is explaining this thing. This is mind-blowing. Please don't go out there and tell this to the world. It is very intimate. So the milk itself is thinking, what's the point? I just let go of my life. So everything, it's like an orchestration for Krishna to perceive the love that Mother Yasoda has for him. And I was saying, you forgot, what happened at the end? Because, you know, you heard the story of Krishna starting to cry and crawl and do different things. And then Mother Yasoda, you know, she starts chasing him, right? Because he goes and breaks things and like that. And then the mother, it's, you know, and finally he allowed to be catched. And, you know, the pass them with the ropes. And, you know, you heard it 100 times, right? But what happened after? Have you heard what happened after? Today is the first time that maybe I pay attention. What happened after? You know, the aftermath of the whole thing. You know who untied the ropes of Krishna? Nanda Maharaj. Yeah, you see, you know better than me. Nanda Maharaj, he untied the ropes. But again, the acharyas have explained what happened between them two. You see, Nanda Maharaj, many of these pastimes are done in a, we may say, human fashion. Right? One of the reasons is because then we can understand that actually loving relationships between people here in this material world are nothing else but a distorted representation of the relationships that happen in the spiritual world. Yeah? So the relationships make sense. It makes sense. So Nanda Maharaj, he had two feelings. On one hand, he was a little scared of Mother Yasoda. Right? Because sometimes they say, right, in parenting, you know, don't discredit the mother or the father in front of the child. And that's a standard, so you know, practice. So he was a little concerned. And on the other hand, he also was feeling that something very special is happening here. You see, Mother Yasoda has a personality, and the Shastras describe that she's very loving, extremely pleasing to Krishna, like many mothers I have seen. But at some point, she says, enough is enough. And this was the time in this particular pastime where she manifested that aspect of her personality the most, out of love. So Nanda Maharaj knew that when Mother Yasoda said no more, meant no more. And there he was, Krishna, tied, the belly, one knot, and the mortar, another knot. So then he went and he first untied the rope in the mortar, just in case. Just looking like this, like half smiling, half like. But it's so intense. And then he was going to Krishna, but it is explained that Nanda Maharaj, he actually wanted to gain the favor of Krishna. And sometimes parents, we do that, right? I don't know in your case, but I know. So I say, okay, mother, it's okay. It's okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry, don't cry, it's okay. I'll pacify you, I please you. So fathers sometimes want to do that. So he was very happy. On one hand, he was very concerned, but on the other hand, he was very happy. This is my chance. I'm going to gain Krishna's favor here. I'm going to untie him. And then what we normally would think that Mother Yasoda was feeling? It is described that she was even happier. Because she was thinking, what did I do? She's not thinking, how can I tie the Supreme Personality of Godhead? I tie my darling, the goal of my life, the everything, Prananath. Not the goal of my life itself. And I have tied him. So internally, she felt so happy when she saw Nanda Maharaj coming to untie Krishna. Like that. So there are so many pastimes and so many layers. Like when you come into a temple, there's doors, and there's another door, and then curtains, and it's a deeper, closer. And Prabhupada does say in the Bhagavatam, in the first or second chapter of the Bhagavatam, he says that if we hear it attentively, we will see Krishna face to face. And why will we see Krishna face to face? Right? Not that we go into the altar and we see Krishna here face to face. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains, don't try to see Krishna. What did he say? Try to act in a way that Krishna would like to see you. That is Mother Yasoda. And you see that image there? Krishna that's his place. There's an exchange. There are many things here. And I will try to wrap it up because it can go on and on. But you see the description, it says that at some point after the whole drama has developed, Mother Yasoda says to Krishna, like sometimes mothers say, when the kids fall, sometimes you see when the children fall, and then the children come crying, and then what mother says, come my baby, right? I will comfort you, right? And the baby, comes like this. Such a moment. So Mother Yasoda, the same way, expressed that to baby Krishna. Come my baby to my lap. You are something like, I don't know the Sanskrit, like you are welcome. You're welcome. Come. And then the Acharya is explaining, and Krishna is thinking, what welcome? This is my place. This is my territory. This is my property. You don't need to welcome me. That's where I reside. So when we see this image, you see how Krishna is so happy. He belongs there. He says, I belong here. Right? So Krishna has a personality too. It's a person, like you all have different personalities. We all have, we have, in our case, good and bad. Some more good and some of us more bad. Krishna has his ways and his devotees also. So Krishna, in this pastime, he manifests how he tattvataha jatha jatha. This is how Krishna is. This is mine, and I will claim it. Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he says many things. We were asking this on Friday program. And you have heard Bhagavad Gita so many times. We have read Gita. Tell me some of the things that Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that you remember, or that you think, oh yes, this is something that I remember. Anything? Something that Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita? I am the source of everything. Everything comes from me. Anything else that Krishna says? Will come to me. Yeah, you're hitting there. You were not on Friday, but Paramatma is telling you. So he says, you come to me. How many times? Anybody wants to understand Gita? Go with a notebook and find how many times Krishna says to Arjuna, come to me. Fine. I call them the back to Godhead verses. Make a number. How many times and where Krishna says to Arjuna, come to me. Sometimes directly. You will come to me. Right? Sometimes indirectly. He will come to me. But come to me. How many times? Many times. Many, many times. And then he says, Mame Vaisyati Asamsaya, without doubt. Right? He will come to me. We have doubts, Prabhupada said. We have doubts, but he doesn't have doubts. Why? Because Krishna knows that the devotee belongs to him. And he likes, Prabhupada said in a class, he was coming down from the Vyasa-san, and then Prabhupada made a statement of the like of, you have to be 100%, not many times we hear this, 100% surrendered to Krishna. Right? 100% pure, something like that. So somebody, you heard this one, right? Somebody mumbled, 100%? Did he say 100%? Prabhupada stopped. 90%. And then still people start looking at each other, 90%. So Prabhupada kept on coming down and said, 80%. Devotees following Prabhupada. And still the mood was like, oof. And he said 70%, but nothing less. Prabhupada used to say, I'm a tough Calcutta businessman. So he knew how to bargain. So this is the beauty of this pastime, particularly. And all what it takes is for us to read 20 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, just YouTube, Google search some classes, right, of your favorite speakers, swamis. I heard also Rasamrita Maharaj. Yeah, very beautiful class he gave. There's Radha Govinda Maharaj also. Bhakti Prasad Swami, so many. Bhakti Charu Maharaj, amazing. It's like sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. So the more we hear, the more we transport ourselves to that place, as if seeing Mother Yasoda and Krishna like that. So that's what we want. That's what we want. Sometimes, especially this month, Stop the mine, at least for a month, with all the workings, the house, the car, and the debts, and this, and he said this, and she said that, and just stop that and try to. You see the what is it? The Damodar 8 verses glorifying Krishna. Also, those verses by Satyavrata Muni, right, are commented in parts by Srila Prabhupada, parts of it by Sanatana Goswami also, and by many devotees. And particularly there's one that I like, I think it's number 4, where Satyavrata Muni says, what is the point of benedictions? Right? Prabhupada says there are 2 things. Puja and Seva. You heard that one? Puja and Seva. You do some puja to get something. Lakshmi Puja, Durga Puja, Saraswati Puja, this puja, that puja. Right? In India it's very common. Right? You do the puja because you want good luck and, good things. You do pujas. But there is seva, Prabhupada explains. Seva is something that you do without wanting anything. He explains briefly like that. Nothing against the pujaris. I'm not saying that. It's not in that context. So when we do service for Krishna, we need to know who are we serving and how we should serve. Like Mother Yasoda. That's why I said in the beginning. Let's meditate on Mother Yasoda and let's offer our lamps with love and devotion to Krishna. What else is this? The rope. Right? And in Mayapur, every Damodar, every Kartik, they put deities of Mother Yasoda and Krishna there, Damodar. And the mortar is there. Right? So you go in front of Radha Madhava and then you offer your ghee lamps and you put it there, right? And I can see everybody wants to. So what blessings do we ask? Because generally we all want something. Let's not deny it. We all want something. So Satyavrata Muni says that what is the point of asking for blessings? We all are asking for blessings. But whatever blessings we ask and whatever blessings we get, this is going to last for some time. Just like a ghee lamp. You offer, doesn't matter how nice you offer, eventually, dies. So in the same way, let's not ask for material blessings. Satyavrata Muni says, I want just one blessing. And what is that blessing? Then I can always remember this pastime. Right? Because in this pastime, Krishna shows Bhaktyamam Abhijnanati. Only my devotee knows me. So if we can always remember the pastime and the meaning of the pastime, then we're safe. We're in the spiritual world. Right? There's no more COVID and this and that and the other thing. We're in the spiritual world. What is that verse? Vayasparsheshu shaktamabindatin atmani yatsukam. Krishna says in chapter 5 that if you push externally everything material, means desires and everything, and you surrender to the Supreme and you focus and engage in the Lord of our hearts, then Anmani Jatsukam. Inside you feel something. You feel something. That it's superior to anything that you have experienced materially. Right? So Satyavrata Muni is praying. Let me see that pastime. Right? It's very brief, the translation. But the Acharyas explain why he's asking for that blessing. Because that blessing shows who Krishna really is. Who Krishna really is. Right? Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita several times, Surida Sarvabhutanam, I am your best friend. I am your best friend, right? He says many times, I am the store, I'm the protector, so many things. But do we really do we really understand it or believe it? Does he really mean that, or just, he just some nice kavi, what's called poetry, something? Do we really believe that Krishna is our best friend? Think of your best friends when you were little, young, or now. Especially when you're young, you always have some best friends, right? When you start growing, then you start thinking, no, I don't have, this is not my friend as I thought. Where are your best friends? But Krishna says, I am your best friend. So these pastimes explains, confirmed. This pastime explains how Krishna is your best friend, your well-wisher. Prabhupada used to sign, your ever well-wisher, like that. So the blessing that we ask today and every day of Kartik is that please let me remember these pastimes that inspire, that ignite, that devotional attitude, that I'm yours, I'm yours, I'm yours. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains. And in return, Krishna becomes the servant of the devotee. Right? Lord Chaitanya was traveling in South India, and there was one Pandit, sadhu rather, and he hardly knew how to read. Yeah, you know the story, right? So he had the Gita, and he was crying, and everyone was mocking him because he was not educated, practically literate. So he was crying, and people were mocking. Hey, Panditji, so give us some pravachan. No, give us some tika, commentary. So Lord Chaitanya happened to pass that place, and he saw him. He asked him, hey, sadhu, why are you crying? Huh? Prabhupada tells you the story. And then he says, see, Krishna is the supreme. And he's driving here, Arjuna's chariot, Partha Sarathi, the Sarathi. So when you get taxi or Uber, you tell him, go here, go there, stop here, go there, go faster, slow, turn on the radio, turn it off, this, that, right? Yeah. You're a servant. They pay you and you take them. That's how it is. Bhakti Damodar Swami explains that some Acharya had commented that in the midst of the war, sometimes Arjuna will kick Krishna. You have heard that one, no? I argue with Maharaj. No, I said, Maharaj, how is it? No. He says, no. This is war. Come on, move this way, that way. Yeah, left, right, yeah. Yeah, but still, you don't need to kick. So I was arguing with Maharaj. My Maharaj told me, this is rasa. It's Lila, you cannot understand. Who are you to understand? So that's the mood. That Krishna will do anything. Bringing you to him, that's nothing. That's nothing. That's his mood. Nothing. This is when Prabhupada was having his heart attack, 2 heart attacks, right? In the boat. Then he had this vision, more than a dream, it was a vision, that Krishna was pulling the boat, the Yaladuta. The Shastras explain, for Krishna to give liberation is nothing. It's peanuts. It's like if I ask any of you, fathers, mothers, would you buy some candy for your son or daughter? Yeah, of course. It's nothing. So, mukti is, but the level of bhakti that Mother Yasoda has in all the gopis in Vrindavan, the residents of Vrindavan, is something that not easily, and I close with this, not even Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, or Mother Lakshmi have the chance to obtain. That's what the Shastras explain. Not even them. Therefore, this month is very special because this month, like Lord Nityananda would say, the doors of the store room of love of Godhead are open. Huh? The Namahata, open. And all we need to do is, like Prabhu said in the beginning, is just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. And offer a little lamp to Damodar. Okay, we stop here. Please read a Krishna book. It's a small chapter. It's only 1.5 pages. Mother Yasoda binds Lord Krishna. In the Damodar book, Sitaram Prabhu, we have Damodar books, yeah? You know that Bhakti Prasadhan Swami? We have. So, yeah. So we will have some outside. Please buy the book. If you don't have the Krishna book, buy the Krishna book. Read this month, at least this month. Okay, if any other time, at least this month. Let's read, let's hear, absorb ourselves in Krishna Katha's, particularly this Bala Gopala Damodar Lila. Okay, we stop. Thank you very much. Any questions? Repeat for the world to know.
So the question is, after Yasoda Mai bind Krishna, and then she left, so Krishna went to this Arjuna Yamla trees, and the two personalities emerged out of that. So after this incident or this pastime, Nanda Maharaj untied. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah. Many things happen there. Many things happen there. You see, Krishna sometimes covers and uncovers the devotees. Sometimes, when you're in Maya, when I'm in Maya, when you don't want to go to work, when you want to wake up early, when you want to do this and so sometimes Krishna covers through his illusory energy. Sometimes he covers himself with internal potency, different ways. And it is described that when the trees fell, the inhabitants of Gokula at that time, they were in Gokula when that happened. Imagine sometimes you hear those explosions. Have you heard those explosions? Oh my God, what's that? What happened? Something exploded. So they came running to see what happened. And then, because some of the children there, some of the Gopas were there. And then they said, oh, baby Krishna, there are big trees here. You can see, how a little baby with a mortar came and, And then, actually it's interesting because there's important aspect of that. Because when they came and asked, the other boys, or girls, but it says Gopas, they say, oh, this is what happened. And then the grown-ups, they say, nah, this cannot be true. Right? They didn't believe, nah. And rather, they start talking. It says like some demon, this Kamsa must have sent some demons. And right after that, is that Nanda Baba started thinking, you know what? We better get out of here. I mean, after this, father, right? We need to do the right thing, Mother gives all the love, but the father is thinking, okay, what do we do practical? So after this pastime, start thinking, better I get my little Krishna out of here because too many things are happening here. Let me go. Already Putana had attacked. Yeah, and the what do you call the cart? I forgot the name. Shakat. So, yeah, like that. So this one is no. Let's go. Yeah, but anyway, so after the trees and all that, Krishna is still there. That part we don't see. We end up with the scene. Where is Damodar? You have a picture? Oh, right, yeah, the deity. So that's where the movie ends. That's it. But what happens after? So the trees fall, and that's when Nanda Maharaj says, okay, now's my chance. And he goes and ties the mortar first, and then unties Krishna. And what Krishna does? He hugs Nanda Maharaj. And what Nanda Maharaj does? He grabs him, shakes his hair, and smells his head. Prabhupada says these things, smells, oh, my baby. And then what Krishna does? He runs to Mother Yasoda. Okay, again, that's his place. So many, many sweet things. Please get hold of this. This book's amazing, bro.
I heard from His Holiness Gaur Krishnadas Goswami Maharaj, and he has one app called Krishna Bal Lila. Into that, he mentioned that after time Ashoda Maya tied Lord Krishna, Balram Prabhu come and said, okay, let me go and tell Yashoda Maya to release you. And he go and advocate to Yashoda Maya, do you know who is he? And Yashoda Maya, who is he? He is the Lord of universe. And then she, who are you? I'm his associate. So and then she said, so you both have got my home only to come over here and appear over here. You haven't got any other place. And she shouted at him and get lost from here. He said, okay. And he tell Krishna I can't do much. You are on your own.
Yeah. I also heard the explanation that you see sometimes Prabhupada includes that explanation. That who is this Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yasoda, right? You know the story that she was Dara and this and that. But this is not the whole truth. You see, Mother Yasoda and Nanda Maharaj are eternally the parents of Krishna. And this Dara and the other one, what the husband was it? Forgot. Because he says that they did austerities and penances and meditated for years and years and years. A partial expansion of them came, and they took these two forms just to show. Don't think that achieving Krishna is so easy. And it is explained, and Prabhupada does use that aspect of the Lila, because the other aspects are very, So we shouldn't be confused. And in fact, there is one section where Sukadeva Goswami explains, because it says that after they did all these penances, Lord Brahma gave some blessing or something like that, But then Sukadeva Goswami himself and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments on that. He says, how can Lord Brahma give something that he doesn't have? Like, with Hiranyakashipu, how can I give immortality if I'm not immortal? How can I give you Braja Bhakti when I don't have Braja Bhakti? How? So this is just Lila, but deeper. It's deeper. Anyway, so much the Acharyas have given us. So we are very thankful to Srila Prabhupada and to the Vaishnavas, because this is unique. So we should feel very blessed and fortunate to be here in this movement today, Kartik month, here in ISKCON Perth. This is the embassy of the spiritual world, as Prabhupada said it. So we are in the spiritual world. We just have to open our eyes and see it. The eyes of bhakti. Any other questions? Any other comments? No? Announcements? Eternal announcements? Birthday? Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Sri Radha Damodar ki, Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande.